This is Trish MacGregor with your April Star Power Astrology Forecast. Thank you for joining me. Well, April looks pretty stable. No Mercury retrograde, no eclipses. Here are the dates to look for. On the 1st, a full moon in Libra. On the 3rd, a trine between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. On the 5th, a square between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. On the 12th, a conjunction between Mars and Neptune in Aries. On the 16th, there are two aspects we'll talk about in detail. On the 17th, a new moon in Libra. And on the 23rd, there's a conjunction between Venus and Uranus. Now let's move on to the signs. Aries. On the 1st, there's a full moon in Libra in your 7th house. This moon illuminates your partnerships, personal and professional. Jupiter in Cancer squares it, so you may be tempted to bend over backward to accommodate someone. Resist that. Bending like that is not in your nature. The trine on the 3rd is between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. Your intuition is running high, and it's wise not to ignore it. If you don't feel it, don't communicate it. Jupiter continues to expand your personal environment and to favor your home and family until June 29th, when it enters Leo. On the 12th, Mars and Neptune are conjunct in your sign, Aries. It's an interesting combo. Mars represents physical energy, sexuality, your motivation, forward movement, and Neptune is all about the etheric, the intuitive. Conjunct, they join forces and urge you to move forward and take a leadership role. The 16th brings two aspects. Mars in Aries sextiles Pluto in Aquarius, and Mercury and Neptune are conjunct in Aries. The first one is ideal for getting in touch with your network. Email them, write a newsletter explaining your goals for the year. The second aspect, the conjunction, is about communication concerning your intuition and spirituality. The new moon is in Aries on the 17th brings new opportunities into your personal life. These can be virtually anything that enhances your life. The conjunction of Venus and Uranus and Taurus on the 23rd occurs in your 2nd house of income. A creative project may bring an unexpected influx of income. Taurus. The full moon in Libra on the 1st occurs in your 6th house. This moon illuminates your daily work routine and how you care for your health from day to day. You may decide to change your daily work routine so you don't spend as much time on minutiae, or you may change some facet of your exercise routine. On the 3rd, Mercury in Pisces trines Jupiter in Cancer. It's the ideal time to connect with your network. Put together a newsletter that provides your goals for the year and how you hope to accomplish them. Encourage questions and suggestions. Jupiter will continue to expand your communication area until June 29th, when it enters Leo. The square on the 5th is between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. Something going on behind the scenes in your life is causing problems. It may be a side job you've taken on to earn more money or a relationship, or you may run up against regulations you weren't aware of previously. On the 12th, Mars and Neptune are conjunct in Aries in your 12th house. You may see a therapist or counselor or even a psychic to gain insight on an issue. Mars urges you forward. Neptune encourages you to draw on your higher self, your intuition, and your consciousness. The 16th brings two aspects. A sextile between Mars and Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and a conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The first aspect favors your career and professional aspirations and could result in a promotion or raise, or both. The conjunction indicates communication flying back and forth behind the scenes, in emails, calls, text messages. Be vigilant for scams. On the 17th, the new moon in Aries should result in new opportunities for you behind the scenes. A new side gig, new therapist, new romance, new insights, opportunities that excite you. The 23rd brings a conjunction of Venus and Uranus in your sign, Taurus. This may result in meeting a new romantic interest, learning about or getting a new creative project, or being paid well for something you're doing. Take your pick. Gemini. The full moon in Libra on the 1st occurs in your 5th house, so the areas highlighted are creativity, romance, pets, what you do for fun and enjoyment. If you're involved in a creative project and it's nearly complete, something new is on the horizon. This full moon enables you to find balance, particularly in a romantic relationship. On the 3rd, Mercury in Pisces trines Jupiter in Cancer. This trine facilitates communication with professional colleagues, bosses, clients. You may land a raise or take on an additional responsibility, which brings in additional income. Jupiter continues to expand your income area until June 29th, when it enters Leo. On the 5th, you're dealing with an annoying square between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. It looks as if someone in your network or your group of friends has a gripe. Tend to it quickly, and the day improves immeasurably. On the 12th, Mars and Neptune are conjunct in Aries in your network area. Your network, infused with energy, may go viral, and you'll be busy trying to sort things out. Send a newsletter that details your plans for the rest of 2026. And if your members are paying, be sure the information you provide is worth the fee. The 16th features two different aspects. Mars in Aries sextiles Pluto in Aquarius, and Mercury and Neptune are conjunct in Aries. The sextile may prompt you to research areas abroad that you would like to visit or maybe to live in, and you start planning the trip, or you may be ready to submit a manuscript to agents and editors. The conjunction results in a lot of communication with members in your network and with anyone else who works on the network with you. The new moon on the 17th occurs in your 11th house. Networks, wishes, and dreams. If you're in politics, this new moon is on your side. But regardless of what your profession is, new opportunities surface that help your brand go viral, bring in supportive people, and may enable you to achieve a long-held dream. And no Mercury retrograde to muck things up. The conjunction on the 23rd of Venus and Uranus in Taurus may lead to a new creative gig behind the scenes, or to a new romance, source of income, and how it all unfolds is a pleasant surprise. Cancer. The full moon in Libra on April 1st illuminates your 4th house, home, family, your personal environment. Someone may be moving in or out of your place, a renter, a friend who needs a place to stay, an elderly parent, or other relative. Whatever the specifics are, things in your personal environment are shifting. On the 3rd, Mercury in Pisces trines Jupiter in your sign, Cancer. Jupiter will continue to expand your personal life in ways that delight you until June 29th, when it enters Leo. Today, with the trine to Mercury in your 9th house, you may be planning a trip abroad to a spot you've always wanted to visit. Or perhaps you're planning to go to law school or grad school or are attending a spiritual workshop of some kind. Any of these areas are the gist of your communications. The square on the 5th is between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in your sign. This square impacts your career area. A boss, client, or colleague may gripe about the way you're doing something. An email or call should rectify the issue. Don't delay. On the 12th, the conjunction of Mars and Neptune in Aries in your career area brings a strange energy to your professional endeavors. You're infused with physical energy and motivation to move forward. But with Neptune in the picture, your focus may be more spiritual, more in line with, what can I do for others? The 16th brings two positive aspects, a sextile between Mars and Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and a conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The first one connects your 10th and 8th houses, career and shared resources. It looks as if this one may bring in additional income of some kind, a break in insurance or credit or even royalties. The conjunction brings a lot of communication about your professional goals and strategies. The new moon in Aries on the 17th brings new professional opportunities, and there's no Mercury retro to screw things up. Possibilities, a new job, new responsibilities that bring in additional income, or maybe even a new career altogether. On the 23rd, Venus and Uranus are conjunct in Taurus. It's the perfect day to communicate with your network through a newsletter or email. Or equally important, focus on a dream you'd like to achieve and lay out a framework for making it happen. Leo. On April 1st, the full moon in Libra illuminates your 3rd house of communication, siblings, your neighborhood, short-distance travel. And with Mercury now behaving, there shouldn't be any snafus. So Leo, talk away, send emails, newsletters, texts, get it all out. Then focus on what really matters. On the 3rd, Mercury in Pisces trines Jupiter in Cancer. A client may want to hire you for a particular project and you're discussing payment. The trine ensures that it will all work out in your favor. The square on the 5th is between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. If you're planning an overseas trip, there may be a glitch of some kind. Jupiter is working to expand everything for you that takes place behind the scenes. And on June 29th, it will enter your sign, Leo, and then buckle up. Your personal life will expand tremendously in terms of new options and new directions once that happens. The conjunction of Mars and Neptune in Aries on the 12th should result in some interesting opportunities. You may have the chance to attend a workshop that deals with spirituality, tarot, astrology, or some other divination technique. Or you may have a chance to conduct a workshop. Also possible, you travel abroad to a location in pursuit of a quest. However the specifics unfold, you take the lead, Leo. The 16th brings two aspects, a sextile between Mars and Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and the conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The sextile facilitates the exchange of energy between your 9th and 7th houses. It should result in honest conversations between you and your professional or personal partner, or both, about your beliefs, worldview, and spirituality. The conjunction brings the facets of that conversation into greater focus. The new moon in fellow fire sign Aries on the 17th should usher in new opportunities for foreign travel, higher education, spiritual pursuits, and publishing. Take advantage of whatever surfaces. The conjunction on the 23rd is of Venus and Uranus in Taurus in your career area. You may suddenly land a project that draws on your innate creativity. If it feels right, accept it. Virgo. On the 1st, the full moon in Libra illuminates your second house of income. You can see things clearly, what you're lacking, and what areas your income is flourishing, and you should be able to create a strategy that prevents the tough ups and downs in your income. The 3rd brings the trine between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. It looks as if communication with a personal or professional partner about your network is helpful. Jupiter is busy expanding this area until June 29th when it enters Leo, so make the most of it now. The square on the 5th is between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. Someone in your network may object to a fee you're charging or to something you're doing or not doing in your network or with your brand. If the objection is valid, acknowledge it. Otherwise, ignore it. The conjunction on the 12th of Mars and Neptune in Aries, your 8th house, is going to be interesting. You have the motivation and physical energy and the leadership qualities now to move forward with earning more money. Perhaps you take out a small loan to establish a business rather than continuing to work for other people. Don't listen to naysayers. Follow your intuition. On the 16th, there are two aspects, a sextile between Mars and Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and a conjunction between Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The first one may bring in additional income as a result of something you've taken on in your daily work. The conjunction has you communicating about paranormal or spirituality in your work. The new moon in Aries on the 17th should bring new opportunities in the areas of insurance, credit, mortgages, royalties, interest. No Mercury retrograde now, but still be alert for possible scams. These opportunities may not necessarily surface today, but they could show up between today and the full moon. The conjunction on the 23rd between Venus and Uranus and Taurus may bring sudden travel. It could be abroad or to a workshop or seminar on spirituality, higher education, or belief systems. Libra. On the 1st, the full moon in your sign lights up your personal life. You can clearly see what's working and what isn't. If you're not happy about the things that aren't working, then come up with a strategy or approach to fixing them. The trine on the 3rd is between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. This connects your 6th and 10th houses, daily work and career. You may be communicating with a client or employer about taking on a project or responsibility which enhances your professional status. Or perhaps you've been invited to appear on a podcast that has the same impact. It's all part of Jupiter's expansion of your professional life and career. This expansion continues until June 29th when Jupiter enters Leo. The 5th features an annoying square between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. A disagreement may develop between you and a personal or professional partner about something you're doing or pursuing in your career. If it can be resolved easily, then tackle it today. Otherwise, wait a couple days. The conjunction of Mars and Neptune in Aries on the 12th could bring about an honest conversation with a personal or professional partner. In fact, today may be ideal for resolving the disagreement on the 5th. Mars provides the incentive, and Neptune brings the bigger picture. On the 16th, there are two aspects to consider. a sextile between Mars and Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and the conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The first one enables you to tap deeply into your muse for a creative project in which you're involved, or to immerse yourself in a romantic relationship or an activity with your kids. The second aspect should lead to an insightful conversation with a professional or personal partner. In other words, both aspects are positive. The new moon in Aries on the 17th ushers in new opportunities in partnerships. If you're single, you may meet the right person. If you're searching for the right professional, an attorney, physician, podcaster, you find the perfect individual. The conjunction of Venus and Uranus on the 23rd occurs in your 8th house, on your financial axis. This one may result in money through a creative endeavor that could include a share of royalties. Scorpio. On the 1st, the full moon in Libra occurs in your 12th house. It lights up your unconscious and whatever happens behind the scenes. You could see what works and what doesn't and come up with a strategy to straighten out the stuff that doesn't work. If something in your life is reaching completion, it's just a natural progression. Don't worry about it. The 3rd brings a trine between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. Your communications today concern a creative endeavor in which you're involved. It appeals to your belief system and worldview, and area Jupiter continues to expand until June 29th, when it enters Leo. The square between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer on the 5th is annoying. A colleague has a critique of something you're teaching or a trip you're planning. It probably isn't any of this person's business, so try to react diplomatically, but make your position clear. The conjunction on the 12th of Mars and Neptune in Aries as you approach a task in your daily work routine with energy and forward motion. But with Neptune in the mix, it's wisest to listen to your intuition and follow its guidance. The 16th brings 2 aspects, a sextile between Mars and Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and a conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The first one brings renewed energy to something you're doing in your daily work, which you may be doing at home. The second one brings a higher awareness to your communications and a hefty dose of intuition. The new moon in Aries on the 17th isn't hampered by any Mercury retro. Now opportunities surface in your daily work, a raise, promotion, or a new job altogether. You also may take up a new exercise routine. The conjunction on the 23rd of Venus and Uranus and Taurus in your 7th house brings a pleasant surprise. If you're single, you may suddenly meet someone who interests you. If you're looking for a new business partner or other professional partner, you might find the right individual. Sagittarius. On the 1st, the full moon in Libra occurs in your 3rd house. It illuminates your relationships with siblings, neighbors, and the ways in which you communicate. You can clearly see what works and what doesn't, particularly with family and neighbors. You also become more aware of how to be more balanced in how and what you communicate. The 3rd brings a trine between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. This one may bring a break in insurance, credit, or mortgages, and you may be communicating about it, comparing prices. Jupiter will continue to expand your 8th house until June 29th, when it enters Leo. The square on the 15th is between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. Yes, squares are annoying because they often throw off the rhythm a whole day. This one messes with your creativity, or your relationship with your kids, or with the romance. However it unfolds, it won't be much fun. The conjunction on the 12th of Mars and Neptune in Aries is likely to feel strange. Your muse is fired up, ready to dive into a creative endeavor, but Neptune asks you to carefully consider your approach. What is it you hope to communicate or achieve with this project? The 16th brings 2 aspects, both positive. A sextile between Mars and Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and a conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The sextile has you communicating nonstop about a creative project you're working on. The conjunction basically does the same thing. The new moon in Aries on the 17th brings in new opportunities to express yourself creatively. If you and your partner want kids, this new moon may also bring news of pregnancy. If you've been searching for romance, this new moon may bring it. In other words, the opportunities that surface depend to some extent on what you're hoping for. With the conjunction of Venus and Uranus in Taurus on the 23rd, a female colleague in your daily work may become a romantic interest, or a creative endeavor develops in your daily work routine. Capricorn. On the 1st, the full moon in Libra falls in your professional area, 10th house. The moon illuminates your relationships with colleagues, your client or employer, and your attitude toward the work you do. You're able to see what's working and what it isn't and should have a better understanding of how to fix things. Libra is all about balance, beauty, fairness, equality, so be sure those qualities are part of your career. The trine on the 3rd between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer facilitates the exchange of energy between your 3rd and 7th houses. You and a partner, personal or professional, communicate back and forth frequently today, and the results are positive. If you're in a new relationship, the communication is especially rewarding. Jupiter continues expanding your partnership options until June 29th when it enters Leo. The square on the 5th is between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. It looks as if a personal partner is critical of something in your family life. Rather than react, wait a day or two and then discuss it. On the 12th, the conjunction of Mars and Neptune in Aries in your 4th house should make for an interesting day. Treat yourself to an adventure. Take your kids with you, or your friends, and your dog if you have one. In other words, don't go solo. Or get a psychic reading. Neptune would appreciate that. The 16th features 2 positive aspects. A sextile between Mars in Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and a conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The sextile may facilitate payment for a project you're doing remotely. The conjunction has you talking about it with family members. You're pleased. The new moon in Aries on the 17th brings new opportunities for your home, family, and in your personal environment. You may put your home up for sale, buy a new house, learn that you and your partner are going to become parents. If you've been searching for a roommate, you find the right person. You get the idea you're right. Your intentions and desires play a significant part in what surfaces. The conjunction on the 23rd of Venus and Uranus and fellow Earth sign Taurus should be very much to your liking. It brings an unexpected opportunity to dive into your creativity fully, deeply, and that thrills you. Make good use of this one. Aquarius. On the 1st, the full moon in fellow air sign Libra occurs in your 9th house. This one illuminates your worldview, spirituality, your fundamental beliefs, and your hunger for foreign travel and experiences. You're able to discern what still fits and what doesn't, since the 9th house also governs things like higher education, the law, courts. You may be considering graduate or law school. The full moon helps you make the choice. The trine on the 3rd is between Mercury and Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. This could result in additional income for you because of something you've taken on in your daily work. It could be a side gig or something a client or employer asked you to take on. Enjoy it because in a few days you'll have a square to contend with. The square happens on the 15th between the Sun in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer. That fire sun sign isn't intimidated by very much, and it's something to say about your daily work. It might be a snide comment from a colleague or even a friend or an email with observations you don't like. But Jupiter is in a water sign and it's been expanding your daily work for months now. And fire extinguishes water. You know exactly how to respond. The 12th features a conjunction of Mars and Neptune in Aries. This one may inspire you to start a blog or write new posts for your present blog, or maybe you'll start a book or a YouTube channel, or all of the above. The day favors communication in all of its expressions. On the 16th, there are 2 positive aspects. Mars in Aries sextiles Pluto in Aquarius, and Mercury and Neptune are conjunct in Aries. The sextile to Pluto in your sign, Aquarius, may infuse you with physical energy. You hit the gym and work out longer than usual, or you double the distance you jog, or you have 5 million ideas racing through your head to figure out which one to seize. The conjunction favors everything you communicate today, whether it's spoken or written. Keep in mind that a psychic experience of some kind is also possible, and that may be what you talk and write about. The new moon in Aries on the 17th brings new opportunities in communication, teaching, short-distance travel, and with friends and siblings. You're probably fired up about something, and it pretty much directs your day. Specific possibilities: you land a book contract, a teaching job, an invite to the home of friends you haven't seen in ages. The 23rd features the conjunction of Venus and Uranus and Taurus. There's something unexpected about what happens today. You may leap into a creative project, enjoy a romantic day with a partner, or new romantic interest, or you may embark on some kind of adventure. Pisces. On the 1st, the full moon in Libra occurs in your 8th house on your financial axis. So now you can clearly see what works and what doesn't work in terms of credit, insurance, mortgages, and, well, your bills. If you think you're paying too much for the internet, do your research. There are less expensive options. Refinance your house, find a renter, look around for different insurance. On the 3rd, Mercury in your sign, Pisces, trines Jupiter and water sign, Cancer. With this one, your muse is whispering in your ear, inviting you to join her. So if you have a hobby or a creative passion, today is the day to dive in. Lose yourself in it. The 5th probably won't be as much fun. The Sun in Aries squares Jupiter in Cancer. This one impacts your income. Not sure how unless you're doing a side gig of some kind, and then there are issues with the client. Wait until the 12th, if possible, when the aspects are better. The 12th brings a conjunction of Mars and Neptune in Aries. Now your intuition kicks in strongly about getting paid, about earning income. Listen to it. Mars urges you forward, and Neptune, through your intuition, shows you the way. The 16th brings two aspects: a sextile between Mars in Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, and a conjunction of Mercury and Neptune in Aries. The first one facilitates payment for something you're doing behind the scenes. The second aspect has you communicating about it and listening to your intuition. The new moon in Aries on the 17th may save the day. New opportunities surface for increasing your income, and you seize the one that feels right for you and run with it. The process itself seems almost instinctive. With the conjunction of Venus and Uranus and Taurus on the 23rd, you may meet a romantic interest in your neighborhood or are offered the opportunity to work on a creative project. Whatever occurs, it's sudden and unexpected, and it delights you.
Thanks for joining The Mystical Underground. Visit www.themysticalunderground.com for the latest blog post and book info. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Listen to the podcast at podcast.themysticalunderground.com. Follow Trish and Rob on Instagram at Trish and Rob MacGregor. Follow us on Twitter at TheMysticCast. Send email to podcast@themysticalunderground.com. And until next week, thank you for listening and stay mystical.